Alright, everybody. So, as you guys know, about 27 days ago, we are literally on day 27 of this fucking culture war narrative. A popular TikToker, who is a trans woman, by the name of Mulvaney, was sent one single free can of beer with her face on it by Anheuser-Busch. It was a Bud Light. It was for her to drink it in a TikTok to promote Bud Light to her audience. And I believe through an Instagram link, you could buy custom made-to-order Bud Light cans that had her face on it. It was like a little promotion. It was exclusive. It wasn't on all of them. You couldn't buy them in the store. You had to order them specifically online, and you could get them if you were like a fan of Mulvaney and you wanted to get the specific Mulvaney Bud Light. I don't know why you'd want that, but, whatever it may be. Anyway, the right hates Mulvaney, and the reason for this is because she's a prominent trans woman. However, they can't be open about that because, as with the Mr. Beast Chris Tyson thing, just openly hating someone all of a sudden because they come out as trans basically turns the vast majority of people against you. Because contrary to what it may seem like, I feel like the Mr. Beast Chris Tyson thing pretty much proved this, the vast majority of normies are not anti-trans, and if you're just like blatantly hating someone because they are trans and for no other reason, you're gonna look like a piece of shit to the vast majority of people. Most people don't care enough to, like, hate trans people in the same absolutely deranged way the right does. Here's the thing, though. They couch that deranged, pointless hatred in seemingly morally inarguable motivations, right? They argue that trans people are groomers and predators, and that they are fighting against pedophilia. When, of course, the vast majority of cases of pedophilia are committed by conservatives. Conservatives are constantly, caught being pedophiles. They constantly defend things like lolicon. It's just very obvious. Even conservatism itself glorifies the old fashion-aged era of, 14-year-old girls getting married off to men in their 30s, right? So, let's not pretend like it's not all projection from the right, but here's what happened, though. Mulvaney did a TikTok, and in that TikTok, she called herself a girl. Not a woman, a girl. Simply a girl. The right decided to latch on to this and claim that this was an instance of Mulvaney claiming that she is a little girl, as in a young girl, like a child. And they are now trying to accuse Mulvaney of being trans age and a pedophile who's trying to justify her supposed future next move of predating on children. Now, in reality, I don't know if you know this, but women refer to themselves as girls all the time. Men refer to women, when they're adults, as girls all the time. It's not that unusual. This is really just the biggest fucking stretch they could possibly, pull out of their ass in order to justify a deranged hate mob against a very popular trans figure. Now, one of these people is a YouTuber, or I should say a Twitterer. I don't know if this person does YouTube, by the name of KC, whose Twitter bio reads, 81 million my ass, America first, 1A/2A, support our troops, back the blue, never date a liberal, tweets daily, unvaxxed, hashtag FJB, hashtag MAGA, hashtag Black Lives MAGA. The guy is not black, but he has hashtag Black Lives MAGA in his bio. Okay, all right. Anyway, he posted this, and is very blatantly copying Meat Canyon, if it's not obvious. Put your drink down before watching this video. Gold. Oh my god, I am in tears, and my coffee is all over. Tons of laughing, crying emojis, and a skull emoji. Sound up. Fire. I'm gonna turn the sound down, actually. Okay. Prepare yourselves for some probably fatal cringe.
It's me, Mulvaney. So I've been a woman for about a year now, and I can tell you exactly everything there is to know about being a woman. For example, I now pee sitting down. It's annoying, though, when my gardong hits the toilet water, as I get a chill every time the cold water touches the tip of my cooch.
Fucking same, bro. Holy shit. You ever like, I remember the first time I was 10 years old, dude. I went into I was at a pool, okay? It was a public pool, and I went into one of the bathrooms, and I went to sit on the toilet because I had to poop, man. I had to go. And you know, I just flopped my dick in there because, you know, sometimes you gotta piss when you poop. Born to poop, forced to piss. And my dick just flopped down onto the bottom of that toilet bowl. Cold fucking porcelain. I felt it. Have you ever touched an electric fence? You know the feeling of touching an electric fence and like the shock, the wave going through your body from like your hand wherever you touched it up through the rest of your body? That is what happened to me. I've never stood up faster in my life. I immediately put on my trunks and jumped in the pool. And then afterwards I got out of the pool, went to the sink, and thoroughly washed my dick with soap. And since that day, I never let my dick pass between my legs when I'm shitting. I have to hold my dick up. This is very in detail, but I mean, this animation is more disturbing than what I'm talking about right now. Yeah, I was terrified I caught, like, an STD, so I, like, thoroughly washed my dick after that. Like, oh, God. With hot water, too. Hot water. Steaming hot water with lots of soap. Yeah, it was... that happened to me for the first time when I was 10, and ever since then, I hold my dick firmly in my hand to ensure that does not happen. Because if my like balls pull it between my legs and it falls down there, it's over, dude. It's all ogre.
I also love the color pink and doing something called Kegels. In fact, I can lift a whole butterball turkey using only my butthole. And Bud Light is definitely a woman's favorite drink.
I like how this is trying really hard to be Meat Canyon humor visually and South Park humor audibly. Like it's South Park humor in that you can tell this is someone doing a South Park-esque impression. Like you can tell this is somebody who's like a massive South Park fan and does a bunch of South Park character impressions, and they're doing like an off South Park character voice right now. But they're also a big Meat Canyon fan. So they're doing like the Meat Canyon art style ripoff, but then like copying South Park's humor where they just have a like a celebrity and they say horrible things because the creators of the show hate that celebrity and want to make them look bad. Like that's what he's doing here.
I mean, you can just see my cooch rain as I sip it.
None of it makes sense.
It's like a waterfall down.
Like none of it makes sense. None of it has like. It would make sense if these jokes that are, like, really hurtful were meant to reference something specific, you know? Like, maybe if she had done these things, it would be funny, right? But she hasn't done these things. These jokes are, like, just really insulting things they came up with that aren't based on any, like... They aren't even exaggerations of a thing that's true. Like, the best gotchas are exaggerations of the things that are true, or just statements of things that are true, right? Like, people saying that, Sneeko is a cuck, right? Like, the Sneeko cuck chair stuff. Sneeko had, like, one podcast where he talked about how he got cucked once, but the joke is now forever that he's always getting cucked, and that the cuck chair in the hotel is the Sneeko chair, right? It's obviously an over-exaggeration of a joke that is true, but there is no, like, true... funny thing they're basing these insults off of that they're making the jokes from. They just kind of came up with gross things for their animation of Dylan Mulvaney to say. This isn't even a good caricature of the lady they're making fun of. Like, I don't usually try to, like, attack caricatures because the point is to try to massively over-exaggerate features, right? But to be fair, this is a pretty pathetic attempt. Like, if I bring up a picture of Dylan Mulvaney on Google Images... Like, even, like, the funny one they use for their, like, thumbnails, the one where she's supposed to look crazy and unhinged, if I showed the average person a picture of this woman, they would not think this is a trans woman. This does not look like a trans woman, nor does it look even, like, approximately like this, this supposed, over-exaggeration of her features.
On there. Ah, look at me drinking Bud Light, just like one of the girls. Perhaps later I'll cradle a cold one between my thighs as I let my boyfriend take a whiff of my butt, just like a woman. And as a woman, drinking Bud Light makes me feel like one of the guys. Bud Light. We have no fucking clue who our customers are.
Man. I bet conservatives lost their fucking mind at that one. Remember, this is what the fucking caption of this was. Alarm emojis. Put your drink down before watching this video. Gold. Oh my god, I am in tears and my coffee is all over. Laughing, crying emojis, skull emoji, sound up, audio emoji, fire emoji. And this is his own... He made this animation. This is him talking about his own animation. Dude. Anyway, the right has basically lost their fucking mind, if you haven't, like, noticed. Like, legitimately, the right has literally gone insane. And they have been, for the last 27 days, they have been losing their shit over Dylan Mulvaney and this Bud Light crossover. There's been multiple instances of people, like, you know, shooting their cans of Bud Light, people going to stores and, like, taking Bud Light cases off the shelf and smashing them in the store and getting arrested. People are legitimately deranged about this shit. And it's gotten to the point where, as you can imagine, it's leading to threats of terrorism. Headline. Let me take a sip before I read this one. Headline. Budweiser factories nationwide hit with bomb threats amid Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light fiasco. Budweiser factories nationwide were reportedly the targets of bomb threats this week as emotions ran high over parent company Anheuser-Busch's marketing deal with its new Bud Light pitchwoman Dylan Mulvaney. The Los Angeles Police Department confirmed that officers responded to a call from the Anheuser-Busch facility in the Van Nuys section of the city on Thursday. A spokesperson for St. Louis-based beer maker told Patch that several other facilities across the country received bomb threats. It is unclear how many facilities were targeted. The Post has sought comment from Anheuser-Busch. LAPD Lieutenant Leticia Ruiz told Patch that authorities received an emailed bomb threat around 9 a.m. local time Thursday. A bomb squad unit was dispatched to the facility. Remember, this isn't the first time. After Matt Walsh and a bunch of other conservative figures falsely claimed that a children's hospital in Boston was giving child sex changes, like bottom surgery, to minors, like up to 3 years old, on their shows. That same Boston Children's Hospital was shut down for a whole day due to bomb threats. So yeah, this is not an unusual thing. The right knows what they're doing. This is something called stochastic terrorism. We did assist in clearing the perimeter of the building. Meanwhile, the company's top executive, Brendan Whitworth, released a statement Friday that made no mention of Mulvaney. Whitworth offered a mealy-mouthed apology as the company... This is from New York Post, so of course they're pretty conservative. They have to find a way to bend these terror attacks or these terror threats by the right as, like, the left's fault. Whitworth offered a mealy-mouthed apology as the company continues to resist calls to end its Bud Light sponsorship deal with the controversial transgender influencer. Christ. That's the type of media coverage this is getting, by the way, in case you're curious. He said the bomb threats were fake because there was no bomb. Ah, yes, the Boston Children's Hospital faked a bomb threat. Very believable. We got some good news, though, coming off of all of this. YouTube finally did the good thing, or the right thing, and demonetized Matt Walsh. YouTube strips ad revenue from the Matt Walsh show after repeated vitriol against Dylan Mulvaney. It wasn't because of broad transphobia, by the way. YouTube doesn't care about that right now. It's because Matt Walsh was specifically targeting practically death threats at this point at a particular large public figure, and YouTube had to do something about it. I imagine, considering now that Matt Walsh is making essentially no money for YouTube, that he'll probably be banned shortly because he's not worth the risk of keeping him on the platform anymore. But that's a nice little palate cleanser we get out of all of this, right? Ah, God, these people are psychotic.